Folks, I'm back. It's me, the AI Dinosaur. I've not posted any videos for a while, about 6 months. Um, there's a lot that's gone on since then. My reason for not posting videos is, well, there were a lot of technical issues. As were evident from my early videos, I'm not very technically savvy when it comes to creating podcast episodes. Um, but and then there was just life. There was a lot going on. I'm much further along on my journey than I was 6 months ago. I've learned so much more, and I can't wait to start making episodes regularly again to share some of that with anyone who might be watching. I don't know if anyone will be watching, but if you are, hopefully I'll be able to share some beneficial content. Um, I will create a couple of episodes to sort of share everything that I've learned over the last 6 months. I'll try and distill it into maybe one episode, but at the most two. But before I do that, I wanted to post an episode that I actually recorded almost exactly 6 months ago with Rod Sekar, who has appeared on this podcast previously. And we talk about a lot of fun stuff. We talk about AI. I show Rod some cool, like some funny video edits that I made using AI video editing tools. But we also talk a lot about UAPs, uh, which are unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UFOs. It's a fun conversation, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Um, and this is episode 5 of the podcast. There's another episode, episode 6, which I'll be posting shortly as well. Um, but without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start this episode. So thanks for watching.
Okie doke.
All right, so we're back, and yeah, so we were talking Fast and Furious. Raj got hacked as always by AI.
Right. Yeah.
This is real, people.
This is real.
Yeah, I'm doing the wait. No, this might be perceived as a Kanye shrug. I was doing the MJ shrug. Kind of the same thing.
Shrugs.
Yeah.
There's too many troublesome shrugs in the world.
Yeah, but the MJ shrug was not trouble. Well, it was troublesome for the other team. I'm not saying MJ is not like Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Okay, so what's it? The T.
Oh, nice
The
T-shirt.
Vader T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Lord Vader, rise. All right, so we're gonna talk about a couple of things in this episode.
Yeah.
I'll see how much of the
And I have a question too.
Yeah.
But you set up the agenda, and then I'll ask the question.
Yeah, well, I will see. I was just saying we'll see how much of the earlier stuff we'll keep in. I'm hoping most of it. I like to just keep everything in. By the way, I'm about to
What is
lose
that?
half the audience by showing them that I drink kombucha.
Oh, nice.
The anti-kombucha lobbyists are going to get to some of my 5 viewers.
Oh, RFK.
All right. Oh my goodness. Potentially, right? Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk. In the last episode, we left it at we used Notebook LM to generate the podcast about UAPs. Mm-hmm. We didn't actually listen to that, so I added a few more sources over the last 2 weeks since we met.
So my question is tied to that.
Yeah.
Whatever source list you created, that's just saved as a. How is that saved?
I'll show it to you in a second. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll show
cool.
it to you right now.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'll show it to you in a second. And by the way, just like last time, I sank my chair. I just like my location reduced. I don't know. Maybe this is better. Maybe I'm like further away. My head is reflecting less light. I don't know. We'll see. You can see me, right? And you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, kombucha, again. So So we're gonna talk to Notebook LM about UAPs. We'll jump to that in a second, and I'll show you where the sources are. I also wanted to do two more things, and we'll see, time permitting. One should be pretty fast. I've been following a few YouTubers to learn as I've been learning about AI. I wanted to, not that I have any sort of following, but I just wanted to sort of give them a shout out. So I wanted to share, there are 6 YouTubers who, well, there are 3 or 4 who I really follow closely, and there are 2 or 3 more who I found pretty useful. And so I wanted to share their channels. Just go over that real quick, a little bit about the content that they share. Obviously for your benefit, but also for the benefit of the people who might want to get information from this.
Yeah.
Which is probably nobody. But
posterity, man.
Posterity, sure. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to come back to this in like 2 or 3 years, right before the AI exterminate us.
Yeah.
I'm being optimistic.
That's when we called it.
Yeah.
Precise second.
Yeah. This is why it doesn't want us to talk. It can see into the future. Like, what combined we're like John Connor. This is hilarious. But the last thing that we're gonna do is I want to share this. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to install local instances of a few different AI tools. I talked about this in my last episode. Totally forgot that way before I even started deciding that I'm going to learn about AI, probably in the middle of last year, I found this toolkit that it's really cool. It's called Pinocchio. It's a pretty popular tool right now. And instead of going through a complex series of commands to install AI programs locally on your machine and run them, and I'm talking about not just models, right? I'm talking about tools. It sort of has this browser setup where you can install it through Pinocchio, and then you can run it in Pinocchio. So I install a bunch of interesting AI applications. So I wanted to show you Pinocchio, and I wanted to show you some of the outputs of one of those applications, which I thought was pretty cool.
And this is step 2. This is one of the steps you have to take in order to be able to, say, build an application with no or low code coding.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is ultimately the purpose here.
By the way, if you're hearing squeaking, it's Boba.
I know. I love Boba. And I'm happy to hear the squeaking. Now the interesting thing is, and I'm gonna raise my chair again so that I can sink slowly back down. I'm like who is it? Dr. Evil, right?
Oh, okay. I was thinking Greek. Isn't it Sisyphus who has to roll that boulder up?
Oh, that too. Yeah.
And
but
it rolled back.
You'll see, I actually had some fun with this stuff though. I installed some. I definitely installed. I'll point out there is one sort of no-code tool that can be used to build good front ends using a technology called React. Well, React is more a code. What do you call it? A language, like Python, but it's for the front end. So I installed one of those tools, but I also had fun with some other tools. So I'll show you that in a second. By the way, I am rambling because I was smoking up before. Okay, all right. I'm elevated again.
I'm elevated.
All right.
You could say you're a little high.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's jump to it. I'm gonna share my screen, and we'll do what we did last time. All right. We'll play the. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about what's. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
You can see the notebook LM thing, right?
Yeah. What sources did you add, I wonder?
So
Oh, Joe Rogan.
I
Nice.
focused on. So okay, we'll go. So Joe Rogan was originally on this, but I focused on a couple of sources that came up in the last couple of weeks since we met. So a couple of things that I did. I added actually did research using the latest ChatGPT model that came out, which is supposed to be pretty good. It's a reasoning model which is available for free to the public. So I did some more research. I asked ChatGPT with its reasoning model to do some more research, and I added. There was a little bit that went on about. Where is this? Oh, there was Anna Paulina Luna, Representative Luna, right? The MAGA chick, who's also apparently pro-disclosure. So I'm for disclosure, right? So
we take everybody over here in
we'll take it all
any help we can get
at this point, right?
Yeah.
She's apparently starting some task force, so I added that in because I hadn't heard about that at all. So I don't know if you had, so we can ask about that. And I added
summarized notes. Looks like.
Huh?
Summarized notes.
Yeah. So I'll show you all of that in a second. We'll generate all of that. So here I'm going to generate a briefing document. So you see this? It says new note generating over here.
Yeah.
You'll see it'll show up as a briefing document in like a few seconds. I already generated the audio over here so that we're not waiting for that. All right. So I'll show you this in a second.
Okay.
And the other cool thing is I think you can generate FAQs, which we'll take a look at in a second as well. And that's on all this information, right? So pretty cool.
The timeline thing next to FAQ.
Oh, let's try that. So timeline is usually meant for if you're doing some research that has if you upload sources that sort of have a timeline.
Sure.
Now this is interesting because I've tried to focus on UAP stuff in the last year. I wonder if it'll build that timeline.
Month to month, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see to have that. I've not. That's such a good suggestion. See, this is why I have you on.
Yeah.
For the brilliant suggestions.
Study guide.
All right, so let's pull it up without further ado. So this is.
Whoa! Oh, okay. 40s.
Can you see when I share the screen? Well, other people.
I can zoom in.
Okay.
On mine.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, there was a window showing me from Meets that was sort of blocking the view, so what was being recorded would have missed. Okay, so this is cool. They've shown a timeline of events pre-1950s. Yeah, just 1940s. Nazis establish a base in Antarctica. Operation High Jump takes place in Antarctica. Whoa, this is cool that they established this timeline just based on these sources.
Okay, hold on. So I have a question. So someone in the source in some video might have said, "Oh, they're UAP myths. The Nazis established a base in Antarctica in the 1940s." But we miss that context when it summarizes the timeline here.
So,
right?
so yeah, that's the interesting thing, right? The timeline does not have that context. It's just sort of, this is what happened.
Sure, yeah, show me this back.
It's interesting, but it's not like complete, right? The FAQs are interesting, right? Because these are questions that AI generated. So what evidence suggests that the US government or its contractors possess retrieved UAP materials, and what obstacles exist in accessing that information? And it's got a bunch of questions like this. What is the Drake equation? What are some of the unique performance characteristics observed in UAPs that distinguish them from known human technology? These are good questions.
Right. The Dyson sphere, High-Seeing worlds.
Yep.
The FAQs I'm very impressed with. Actually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then if we go, so the briefing document I think would be good in certain situations. I don't know if I'd find the briefing document really good here. It's a good summary, like it's a good organized summary. You know, key points, uncertainties, it's all of that, right? Eastern seaboard drones, possible motivations and intentions. So it's got good, it's organized the information well. But to me, it's okay. I'm just gonna read through another document. So the real thing that I like, and I did like the FAQs, is our little
podcast,
our little chat. So here's what we'll do.
You got a little quieter when I went to the chat.
Oh, it did?
Oh, now it's better.
Okay, maybe I looked down or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's what we'll do. We will we'll play the recording. We'll stop ever so often. If you wanna like discuss something, well, we'll discuss it, right?
Okay.
Just like speak up, tell me to stop it, and I'll pause it, and
Sure.
I'll pause, right? So we can continue that.
Yeah.
And then if we want to ask it like questions and stuff like that, we can do that because it can't hear you directly, but I can ask questions.
Sure. And so is the podcast length dependent on the number of sources you put in?
It's weird, man.
It is around 12 minutes.
So it's 12 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it seems to be like there's a different notebook. And I'll show you some of the other notebooks that I've created. You'll see what I'm using Notebook LM for. It's interesting. I had like one source. It wasn't even that much information. And it generated like a 25-minute podcast. Like, okay, that's interesting. So it's a bit inconsistent.
Where is it getting 25 minutes worth of content?
I don't know.
Just repeating itself, maybe? Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't actually go and listen to that, but I just generated it to check how long. But anyways, so let's get this started, and we will.
I'm all here.
We'll see what they say. I wish there was this way to like, set podcast speed at like,
1.25.
1.25. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Let's get started. Oh.
Hello?
Why didn't it didn't play nothing?
Welcome back, everyone, to the
there
deep
we go.
dive. This time,
Let's go to interactive mode.
You have to say
welcome back,
join.
everyone, to the deep dive. This time, we're going deep on some pretty wild reports about, well, the usual UAPs, extraterrestrial life, the whole
You can
shebang.
hear,
I've got some
right?
interesting stuff lined up today.
Yeah.
YouTube videos, some of my research notes, even a UAP research report outline. Should be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a real mixed bag. Should make for a pretty in-depth look at this whole thing.
Exactly. So the big question for this deep dive is, what can we really learn from all this stuff about UAPs, alien civilizations, and where intelligence might be going, including our own?
It's like we're piecing together a giant puzzle, but we're missing some pieces. We'll try to make sense of it all, using the captivating stories, the science, and whatever hard data.
You can hear, right?
So let's start with something you sent over that really caught my eye. A YouTube video from this Polarity channel talks about this crazy story from 4chan about an egg, right? An egg and a 700-year-old extraterrestrial. They found it in an Antarctic cave back in 2022.
This source.
Okay, so
Yeah.
disclosure,
Unfortunately.
got to take this one with a huge grain of salt. Fortune's
Okay.
not exactly known for, being super reliable.
interesting.
I like the context, yeah.
For sure. Got to be cautious. But man, the details. There's this 20-second night vision video supposedly showing this egg being lifted out of the cave, plus some photos of what they say is the extraterrestrial.
Visual evidence can be pretty convincing, but it's really easy to manipulate images. Without some serious context and verification, who knows what's real?
True. But it goes deeper than just visuals, right? The 4chan Q&A gets really specific. Like the entity was in some kind of pod, and apparently it was a vegetarian.
I mean, that does add a certain mystique to it, doesn't it? But we got to be careful about jumping to conclusions without more evidence. This is all pretty mysterious stuff.
No doubt. But I think it's a good place to start, talking about alien civilizations. And this brings us to a much more, shall we say, scientifically solid source, that Lex Friedman podcast with Adam Frank, the astrophysicist.
Ah, yes, Adam Frank. Now, there's a guy who knows his stuff. He's all about the search for extraterrestrial life, the impact of advanced civilizations on
So I added this one, by the way.
Which one?
The Lex Friedman podcast. I added this.
Okay. Okay.
I looked
Okay.
specifically for
Dude.
like.
Did you add the guy with the proto cell, Michael Levin?
No, because he doesn't talk about UAPs, right? Like he talks about life.
He talks about conscious, like
talks about yeah. So I'm definitely going to be creating a notebook on his field of study, because his field of study is fascinating, dude.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of linked. I know he doesn't talk about it. I think it's linked though, because
it makes complete sense that it's linked. Yeah, I'm with you.
A lot of stuff coming out about these UAPs is like, oh, it's connected to your consciousness and perception. And Michael Levin talked a lot about. For those who don't know, Michael Levin is
future Nobel Prize winner. Michael Levin.
Yeah, I think so. And he's basically talking about how there's an underlying. Maybe Sid, you do a better job of explaining his thesis.
So.
Not to put you on the spot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I think the most succinct way I can describe it is, he believes, I think at his core, that just like we have laws of mathematics and laws of physics and laws of chemistry, we actually have laws of biology that govern how life behaves as it gets more complex, and how it solves problems, and how it sort of expands its problem-solving sphere. And as it expands its problem-solving sphere, it gets more complex to solve those additional problems. And all of those, that what I'm describing is essentially evolution, right? All of that stuff is driven by certain laws. So he believes he's got a lot of his research is essentially around that. And the other thing that I think he's beginning to delve into is that intelligence is not something that's emergent from brains getting more complex. He believes that, or his theory is that intelligence is effectively a force that motivates brains to get more complex. So intelligence allows you to a less complex organism to solve all the problems that's within its level of complexity, and then expand that so that it gets more complex. It drives those biological laws or those forces that I mentioned earlier, or that he does research into. So it's very interesting, right? He's got this very different view of intelligence, almost being external from
right. The implication is that the intelligence exists in the fabric of whatever dimension, and we kind of access it. We, being living organisms, access it to get more complicated.
Which is wild. And sounds
an underlying framework for intelligence that drives.
And he's not some crazy dude, right? Like, he's doing research into this. So very, very widely appreciated.
This is like on the edge of known science, right?
He's awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna do an episode.
It's connected. Yeah.
I'm gonna do an episode focused on him.
That'd be great.
We'll maybe we can do that one together as well.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. So
I kind of inadvertently made that connection with what people are saying about UAPs, based on congressional hearings and stuff, not just ancient aliens on not
very credible people, right? And these folks will talk about it. Maybe you know what? Let's ask it that question. Let's ask it the question of, summarize what people who have formerly been government employees have stated under oath about the capabilities of UAPs. Let's
Perfect. Yeah, go for it.
On their planets. His insights into the Drake equation. Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Summarize what people who have been former government employees have stated under oath about the capabilities of UAPs in 60 to 90 seconds.
Absolutely. That's a great question. Okay, let's unpack this.
Little time.
So, based on what we've seen in those congressional hearings and interviews, here's a quick rundown of what former government employees have said under oath about UAP capability.
Right. And it's important to note these are claims made under oath, which adds a certain weight. We're talking about things like advanced technology beyond what we have. They've testified to UAPs that can move in ways that defy our understanding of physics.
Exactly. We're talking about craft that can accelerate incredibly fast, make sudden changes in direction, and even operate in different mediums like air, water, and space, seemingly without any changes in performance.
There's been testimony about UAPs that can seemingly disable our own technologies, even nuclear facilities, which is a huge security risk. Some witnesses describe these UAPs as having no visible means of propulsion.
And it's not just about how they move, but also what they look like. We've heard about things like orbs and metallic craft with no apparent wings or control surfaces. They're often described as being very advanced.
By the way, the orb things, they've been around for a while to the point where fighter pilots in World War II would see them regularly over the ocean. And that's where the term Foo Fight, they would call them Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
That's where that turns. Yeah. And now we have a dope band.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's weird or fascinating how prevalent these things are in our society or even vernacular, but we don't know the source, and now we're like kind of relearning that.
And yeah, and now the interesting thing is in the age of,
information.
What do you call it? The omnipresence of monitoring everywhere. Everyone's got a device that can record, and every military asset has devices that can record. Every commercial asset that flies essentially has assets that can record. There's video coming out, so it's not just testimony, right? There's video that's coming out, but and all the video in the world now won't convince people because videos can be fake too, right? But at the end of the day, these are people who they had high-ranking jobs in the government.
Yeah.
They're coming out using whistleblower protections and testifying under oath about what they saw as part of secret government programs, or David Grush's case, as someone who had access to that information. And this is some crazy stuff, man. I mean, the thing about the nuclear silos being taken offline, it's insane. Just for folks who don't know, right? This is something that happened in the 1950s, the 1960s. There were servicemen at silos who've come out later on, and they've described what happened specifically. These are people who were on duty in nuclear missile silos, about how unidentified craft hovered above the silos and, in certain instances, disarmed the silos, so turned them off. So we could have launched, right? They shut down all systems. In other instances, started a launch clock. So started a countdown.
Which is crazy because those systems are air gapped.
Mm-hmm.
You also need a physical, you see it in the movies. There's a physical aspect to it where someone physically has to move something. Which, then who did that or what did that?
But I liken this to.
Or how do you bypass it?
Well, I liken this to the ants who use a scent trail to essentially to move through areas, and they use their antennae to communicate with each other. And then if they suddenly somebody told them that, you know, a person instantaneously had knowledge of what happened at the front of the line and at the back of the
Right.
line,
Right.
just by just by virtue of having like eyesight, a three-dimensional
Right.
eyesight, they
Right.
would get their minds blown, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we think they're air gapped. We think they're protected. We think that they're
That's a
they're
good point.
offline and nobody can get to
Yeah.
them. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. That
Yeah.
might not mean anything to beings who aren't constrained by the rules that we are.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And for your listeners, I would point them to a video clip from YouTube of Carl Sagan explaining dimensions, specifically the 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. And he goes into a universe that's 2 dimensional called Flatland and how they would perceive a 3D
Such a
person.
great example.
It's such a really good. It's amazing, and I can't do it justice by explaining it here. I just highly recommend it. Carl Sagan talks about it, and it's incredibly fascinating. And that video always made me think about, okay, if there was a 4th dimensional being, how would we perceive that,
Yeah.
right? So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's very interesting to me.
Well, our minds are three-dimensional. Ultimately.
Yeah.
Four-dimensional if you consider time.
Sure.
So we exist across time and three-dimensional space.
Mm-hmm.
That's what our minds
Dimensional
perceive.
being would
Yeah.
then
Our
what,
minds
perceive time like we perceive length, width, and height.
Yeah. Well, in some ways, right? We experience it. We don't perceive it.
Right.
We can measure it, but we can't traverse along it. Right.
So a
we're just
4th-dimensional being theoretically could traverse along
Yeah.
the time axis. But there's not necessarily a beginning or an end for them, is what you're saying.
Well, that exactly right. It's
Yeah.
it's like the whole. As a three-dimensional being, I can see the beginning and the end of the ant line simultaneously. While the ant at the beginning might be going, "Whoa! I can't. How does this thing? How can they see everything instantaneously?"
Yeah.
The ant at the beginning is just experiencing it, right? So,
Yeah.
and that's maybe a bad metaphor, but yeah,
No,
we don't know what are the capabilities of extra-dimensional beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, we could have a
these
whole
things are-
different conversation about whether this is a simulated reality as well. I
Mm.
think that could also be a very interesting. We could tackle maybe 2 topics.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We're actually at 30 minutes right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're flying through this. I'll set it at like 1.25x speed. So
Sure. Sure.
we'll go through it faster. But
Yeah.
all right, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions that you wanted to ask?
Let me. No, play it from now on.
yeah.
If I think of something, I'll let you know.
Exhibiting technology that doesn't seem to come from any known nation.
And it's worth mentioning, some testimony suggests that the US government has been tracking these things for decades, and that there is indeed a huge amount of visual and sensor data, including high resolution photos and videos.
Right, and some have even spoken about alleged UAP crash retrieval programs, and that there are government employees who have been injured by these objects receiving government compensation for their injuries. Now, I hope that all of that fits within the 90-second window.
Yeah, that's a great summary. It's a lot to take in, and it highlights why
I
there's so
love
much
that they-
interest in this topic.
I
Now,
love
with that
that
in
they
mind, let's
didn't
move on
forget about
to
that.
Adam Frank, the
Yeah.
astrophysicist, and how he helps us
Oh,
think
let's see
about
what they
these
say
kinds of
about this.
possibilities.
Okay, so the Drake equation. Just to remind everyone, it's a mathematical formula to figure out how many detectable alien civilizations might be out there in our galaxy, right?
That's the one. It looks at things like the rate of star formation, how many stars have planets, how many of those planets could support life, the whole 9 yards. It's a way to put some numbers to this massive potential for life beyond Earth.
And what I found really interesting is that Adam Frank was talking about how recent research suggests that these so-called hard steps in evolution, those transitions that were thought to be, extremely rare, might not be as impossible as we thought.
Right. That's huge. If those hurdles aren't as high as we thought, then life popping up elsewhere becomes much more likely. The universe might be teeming with possibilities.
Which brings us to those technosignatures. the signs of advanced technology we could maybe detect from Earth.
Exactly. Technosignatures go way beyond looking for radio signals. It's about finding industrial pollutants in a planet's atmosphere.
What's
the
that?
Drake equation accounts for basically the vastness of the universe and the probability of life existing. And I think it even accounts. Does it account for time?
I don't know.
Because yeah, I feel like you could have a civilization that's 2 light years away, but there were actually so much in the past that we
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Like them, right?
absolutely. Huh.
It's like you run into the problem of not knowing what we don't know.
It's crazy.
I think Drake equation is very limited in scope.
The ability for us to get information in a timely manner from the universe with
This-
our current technology is ridiculously slow.
Right.
It's
Which is
crazy.
light speed. It's light speed. And
Which is insane to say that light speed is ridiculously slow, but yeah, with the vastness of the universe, it absolutely is. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Space is crazy.
Which
Which is why I don't think it exists. It's all
the universe
simulated.
itself.
It's like Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So you think whatever these UAPs are, they're like the admins of the simulation, just checking. They seem to ignore us more often than not.
Yeah.
They're just like
So there are
going about.
a couple of hypotheses, right? There's a zoo hypothesis, which is we exist for the entertainment value, to provide entertainment value to other civilizations, just like we have, beasts in zoos for our entertainment. They derive some entertainment probably from seeing us becoming violent and self-destructive. I don't know. So that's the zoo hypothesis. But yeah, the other hypothesis is that this is a simulation run with some intent. It has some purpose. It's supposed to have some end result.
Yeah.
Which could be just a game simulation, to be honest. A really, really
Complex.
complicated game simulation playing out. Or it could have other purposes that we just can't understand. So yeah, these UAPs, dude. I mean, you used a very good metaphor. Game admins, right?
Yeah.
They can jump into a game and, pwn some noobs.
And then
Just using their god powers, right?
Yeah. Just be like, oh, let's blow this one
Right.
monkey's mind,
Yeah.
and then we'll never see him again.
Yeah,
See
exactly.
what happens.
So it's I don't know, man. I hope we find out what they are.
So lately I've been I always flip back and forth, so let me say that. But
Between
lately
optimism
I've
and-
been thinking that whatever these things are there, but I don't think we'll be able to find out what they are for only one reason. There's probably many reasons, but the primary reason is the fact that they can move the way they can implies they have unbelievable energy harnessing capabilities. And energy is the kind of the end game for any civilization, right? If these things have so much energy that we can effectively leave the planet, and if we have so much energy, it should be relatively easy to convert that energy towards terraforming another planet.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you limit that energy from falling into the wrong hands, right? It's like I think Oppenheimer and all these nuclear scientists face the same dilemma as, hey, once this is released, it's Pandora's box, right? Oppenheimer, from the movie and even before, we know he's faced a lot of moral quandaries within himself and with his fellow scientists to be like, this is Pandora's box. Once we open it, there's no putting it back. And sure enough, all these other countries came out. Once you know that something is possible, they figure out how to do it.
So
It's a phenomenon, right?
It's interesting that you're talking about energy, right? Because, and I know we're sort of going from one relevant. We talked about Michael Levin. We're talking about UAPs, obviously, we're talking about just alien civilizations and how they could. We're talking about simulated reality.
Energy's the end game.
But it's interesting. So now I'm going to talk about AI because this is an AI podcast, right?
Yeah, relevant.
Yeah, somewhat relevant.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. There's a really cool Lex Friedman episode. And by the way, just in case people end up watching this, right? My political views, which I try deliberately not to get into too much on this, but we do talk about stuff, right? We don't shy away from talking about stuff.
Sure.
They don't align with a lot of Lex's recent political guests.
Oh, okay.
Right, like he had Trump on, and he had Elon on, and all of those folks, right? But I love his scientific guests, and I love watching those episodes. I think he does a great job, and he has some really amazing people on, Michael Levin being one of them. So he interviewed these two guys, and I'll share. I actually have it in one of my notebooks, who talk about energy being sort of the end game for AI development. Right?
Okay.
The end game is you need to. We may be able to get to super intelligence with our current technology, with our current energy generation capabilities. But if we're not able to do that, right? Because what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about building more and more sophisticated computing hardware, and then using massive amounts of energy for that to run a ton of computations.
Right.
And that's used for developing better and better AI.
So two limitations: Moore's law, and then the limited energy that we have currently.
Well, Moore's law has kind of fallen by the wayside because Moore's law is limited by computer architecture.
Right.
This is a different law that's also people feel like it's starting to hit its limits. It's called the scaling laws. And in this episode, the guy is actually wearing a T-shirt that has like an equation with the scaling laws. There's an Indian dude and there's a white dude.
Okay.
But they're super well informed. So the scaling laws basically say if you can throw more compute, so instead of 1,000 GPUs, if you can throw 2,000 GPUs, you won't have 2x better performance, but you'll get like 1.75x better performance because you lose some efficiency. But you're not limited by the architecture. So with the exactly the same architecture, which is limited by Moore's law, if you throw more GPUs, which is just a matter of how do you have the money to build that data center, and then do you have the power to power that data center? So the scaling laws, right? The question is, they might hit their limits for some other reasons. So we might reach a point where just throwing more compute, more GPU is not going to make smarter AI.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's potentially, we might get to that point.
They say that about, side note, they say that about human brains also.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? It's not necessarily the number of cells we have, it's the connection between them.
Yes.
So that's pretty fascinating. I mean, it is called a neural network, so
yeah,
it makes sense. But
so what's interesting now is they're starting to develop. And I know we're not on the podcast anymore, right? So maybe we'll talk
man. It's all connected.
Well, yeah, dude, but it's fascinating. So we'll see. Maybe we won't do the UAP thing completely. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about one more UAP thing, and then we'll jump to the other thing.
We can put it together later. Yeah.
But what's fascinating is, so they're starting to get to this point, right, where if you use the same exact, so the first method was build better architecture. The second method is to add to that is throw a bunch of that on, a bunch of chips together, power them, you'll get smarter models. So the first thing was build, I'm going to use analogies here, build a neuron, then build a network of neurons. So it's a very simple network. And now there are techniques being adopted. So there's the next evolution of architecture actually starts to mimic how the human brain functions. So it's going to have a short-term memory and a long-term memory component. And this is AI architecture. This is model architecture.
I mean, even computers we built like that, right? We had short-term RAM and long-term hard drive.
Yep. And now we're doing that exact same principle.
Like scaling it.
Yeah, we're scaling it. And there's the other thing that I talked about. You have this virtual simulation where time moves at 1,000 times the speed of regular time. They're learning to train models in those sort of scenarios, reinforced learning scenarios. So we're inventing new ways to make progress, really fast. And so real quick, even in that scenario, right? Even if you made a lot of progress in efficiencies and techniques and all these other things, the bottom line is if you can use those techniques in combination with many more chips, you're going to win the game, right? You're going to get to super intelligence first.
And then the power comes in where?
That's where energy generation comes in.
Okay.
Right? And right now we're falling behind, we've fallen behind China, way behind China. China's power generation capabilities are insane. The US is dwarfed by that. Yeah. Dude, these guys talk about it. They talk about how... So Project Stargate, the big thing between OpenAI and Trump on his inauguration day.
Yeah.
The goal is to spend $500 billion to build the largest data center in the world.
Okay.
And that data center will need about I forget the exact number, between 1 and 2 gigawatts of power to power it.
1.2 gigawatts, Marty.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? And in order to do that, you need to build up the infrastructure, you need to build up the power generation capabilities. They're thinking of going nuclear, potentially not, because that takes time to build. So the fast thing is to go, just use renewables in combination with traditional non-renewable power generation capabilities, right? China, it's got industrial plants that are so large that they need 1 to 2 gigawatts to power them, and China's got that already set up.
Wow.
For them turning on supplying 1 to 2, that much power to a data center is child's play. They already have those capabilities. What they don't have is they don't have the chips. That's why we're trying to limit them from getting the chips.
Yeah, which didn't matter when DeepSeek came around.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. So some of their newest chips are fascinatingly fast, in benchmarks. They're lacking in a lot of key areas. Like NVIDIA's chips are so good because they have the software to run those chips. It's extremely complicated software. By the way, Lucy heard something, so that's the parking.
Yeah, I heard.
Our dogs, right?
Yeah. So circle that back, right? So I think right now I'm in a point where UAPs, are here, but we won't learn much because once we determine, if we haven't already determined what their energy source is, and we've harnessed it, you've kind of ruined the whole global petrodollar economy, right?
You've ruined the whole global economy, period.
Yeah, completely. And oil immediately becomes worthless.
Yeah, exactly.
Which throws every nation in the world into disarray.
Right.
Right? And so how do you deal with that? Even if we have this clean, unlimited technology, quote unquote 0 point energy, which regardless of what it is or isn't, whether if it's real or not, it's a massive amount of energy these ships have to have in order to travel at the speeds that they do. So if we can harness that, then why, what is the next step, right? You've unleashed Pandora's box, free energy for everybody. Yeah. What does that mean? What are the implications of that?
So you think because of the sort of earth-shattering implications of disclosure and reverse engineering of key technologies like energy production, you think we're not actually going to have... Is that what you're saying? You don't think that you're pessimistic towards disclosure actually happening?
I am. I mean, a pessimist is just a cautious optimistic, I think. But I think right now, I don't know. Maybe now's the time, and that's why these hearings and all these people are coming out of the woodwork, and that's why this is happening now. But at the same time, seeing where we are politically and socioeconomically, and figuring out like, hey, every thriller movie that we used to watch in the '90s and early 2000s was about how someone snuck in a dirty bomb into a major populated city, and we have to figure out what. So like, there's that level of paranoia about, oh, hey, if there's unlimited energy, a madman could blow up the entire earth just because he wanted to watch it burn, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, even if 99.99% of the earth was happy about it.
Yeah. Which I don't think they will be, I think there's a much greater chance that 99.99, well, maybe, let's say 90% of the earth will be very unhappy if we get disclosure. Because it's not just energy production that gets uprooted, right? It's religious beliefs, nationalistic...
The church came out and said aliens can be Christians. Catholics. So we're okay.
Yeah. No, but the whole concept of the nation state, more than that, the whole basis of our economic system, right, is the basis of that is that our economic system produces... It's built on the promise of increasing value over time. So it's a net positive. So the promise is, if nations participate in trade, and this goes back to the earliest forms of civilization, right? It's a win-win. There are people who, on one side, who produce the goods, they get greater markets. Places which receive the trade they get travel, they get new ideas coming.
I suspect, and I think because of all the reasons you're listing, I suspect there have been individuals who came close to identifying these alternate sources of energy who have since been silenced, assassinated, or what have you. And there's a great YouTube channel called Y-Files that delves into these cases. Which again, another shout out. I can link it to you so you can put it in your description.
Nice.
Yeah, but
please do
it's
that.
An energy episode about all these people. I mean, even Nikola Tesla, right? I know he's famous for alternating current versus Edison's direct current, and now we use alternating current.
Yeah.
To much of Edison's chagrin, but he was towards the end of his life. Some crazy stuff about Tesla, and again, this is like a total tangent. Tesla's last, at the end of his life, he was going a little bit cuckoo, which he was always weird, but he was never fully cuckoo, right?
Yeah.
So I already suspect some sort of foul play there, because his funders pulled out, and the last inventions and any notes and documents he had, guess who the person was that cleared out that stuff from Tesla's storage facility?
Elon Musk?
It was Trump's ancestor. Yeah.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
his grandpa or great-grandpa, I think.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So that's just one example. There have been many people that we've heard of. Like, I remember hearing news about a guy who made his car run on water.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've heard these stories, and the guy shows it in the news clip. And then you never hear about that again.
I don't want to go all New World Order, conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat, right? Because that very quickly can go to dark places, right? The theories about there's a shadowy council behind that controls everything, right?
Yeah.
But here's the truth of this matter is that our system has a level of control built in, and human beings exert that level of control on the system.
Yeah.
And this goes back not 10 years, not 100 years, it goes back thousands of years, right? And those people have incredible power. Whoever has the wealth and the power controls the system, and they have power to make anything happen, right? And disappear overnight, cover it up. Very easy to do.
Yeah.
And they have incentive to do that because something else comes up, information gets revealed, energy sources get produced. Their control goes away, right? So that's their incentive. So, yeah, I don't. Again, I'm not being very clear. I'm not saying there's a shadow council. I'm not saying there's a specific group. I'm saying that people with power have always controlled the system. That's the reality.
Yeah. It's a pattern of losing knowledge that could revolutionize the world. And then taking a step back into a more, like you said, more controlled way of working our way towards that knowledge.
That's what the Dark Ages was about, right? It was about control. It's suppressing. That was still human beings coming up with, more progress. But if the church could do that for 1,000 years, right? Suppress scientific progress to maintain control. That's the perfect example. That was 9.5 centuries or so of complete control by the religious body with the most authority in the Western world, which prevented scientific progress in the Western world. So,
I mean, society itself is a series of methods to control, right? That we all kind of entered that so-called terms and conditions, if you will, of society. But when that starts falling apart, that's when people have to kind of reassess the situation a little bit. Much like Mario's brother did.
Well, I'm gonna quote something else that you'll relate to instantly. The Matrix is control.
There you go. Yeah.
To hide you from the simple fact that you were born into slavery. And you live in a prison that you cannot see, cannot touch, cannot taste. Right? I'm sure I got the exact wordings slightly wrong.
Yeah.
But it was a metaphor for what the world is, for what our reality is. So you're absolutely right. The power these people have to suppress disclosure is huge.
And then you're drip fed. You're taking steps, like for each step forward, you're taking 5 steps back.
Yeah.
And then you're drip fed so you can go 2 steps more forward, thinking that's progress, but it's not.
Right. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I think you the link, by the way, for the Wi-Fi.
Sweet. I will definitely add that into the video. Give a shout out to Wi-Fi as well. So we're at 55 minutes. I know we've gone long. How about this? Instead of giving a shout out to these other YouTube channels, I will put the links in this video, and I'll definitely give a shout out in the next video that I make.
I don't know. This might need to be a 2-parter, so you have enough clips.
This might need to be a 2-parter. I think we're just going to be I think like 60% of my videos with you, Raj, are going to be, or 60% of my videos are just going to be videos with you. I mean, we've already talked about having you on for Michael 11. We've got to talk about having you on. We've got to have you on to talk about the simulation of reality. That's a fascinating topic, and consciousness and what that means. That might be actually one thing. But how about this? Let me show you this thing called the tool called Pinocchio that I said that I can use to run.
Yeah, show me that.
Because I think that's relevant. So the story, I'll just say the story behind this a little bit was like I mentioned in my previous episode. I struggled a bit with installing some.
Bobby, it's okay. You heard something somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that was barking. Lucy did the same thing. By the way, is it okay if Lucy had done the same thing like a few minutes ago?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering. Did your dogs feel the earthquake?
When was the earthquake?
That this morning or yesterday? I think it was this morning. No,
Dude, I
yesterday
didn't feel
night.
it. They might have, and I might have yelled at them for
She was
boycotting it.
just lying down my feet, didn't give me a warning at all.
Oh my
Nothing.
goodness. Yeah. So let's take a look at this tool.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah. So, but the story behind this is I was struggling to like install a couple of tools locally, and I got it done, but then, I think I mentioned last week I uninstalled the stuff because I wanted to try and do the cloud-hosted solution. But at some point in the last week, I decided, okay, I want to give it a try again. I want to give it a shot to do it locally.
Okay.
And that's when I remembered I had found this tool, which I'd completely forgotten about, called Pinocchio. So let me share my screen again.
Yeah, because right now I see the UAP notebook.
Stop presenting. And I'm just going to share my entire screen.
Dude, we should get Luke and Karen for the Michael Levin one too.
That would be a fun conversation. All right, so can you see what I'm sharing?
Yep, I see it.
All right, so this is Pinocchio. Pinocchio, just Google Pinocchio. I'll put a link actually to where you
I'm just gonna get the story.
where people can download it.
I'm a real boy.
But so you can just go on Pinocchio. They have this Discover section over here, and it's slightly out of screen from what I'm capturing. But I'm going to click on Discover.
Yeah, I can see it.
So within Discover, you can actually so this is a bit like an app store. You have a bunch. Every one of these things are AI apps. They have specific functions.
Okay.
You can click on it. Like this, for example, is Tencent. Just released a really good video generator, AI video generator, text to video generator.
Whoa. Okay.
That you can, you can use Sora from OpenAI, but you've got to pay them, right, for running it, or you got to have a service.
This is free, right?
Well, you can run this locally. So I actually before this call, I actually installed it, but I'm running low on space, so I literally went down to like 250 MB free space on my drive, so I uninstalled it because I wanted to actually show this on the video, but so I'll free up space maybe in the next one. Okay. So you could do that, but I have a bunch of things installed which are interesting. So this bolt.diy, that's the no-code tool. So this is the main one that I'm going to be using to build the front end of what I'm thinking about. There's this other tool called Browser Use, which for free it approximates what some of OpenAI's newest products like Deep Research or Operator can do. I covered those in my last session. Like it has, you can do like agentic stuff from Browser Use.
Okay.
Comfy UI is, it's also a video generator. It's actually a very popular open source video generator, but it's complicated. So I've not taken the time to like learn how to do it. This stuff, so you can see the description of fairy tailer that fakes fluent and faithful speech with flow matching. It creates audio and it can sync audio to video.
Oh, okay.
So each of these do certain things, but the one that I've got running up here, Face Fusion, is interesting. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to show you the UI. So you can do some cool stuff over here. So you can do face swapping. You can see all the sort of things that they can do. You can modify the age of people in videos. I haven't tried deep swapper, but this was one of the things that I just decided to play around with. Right?
Okay.
It's like it's an AI video tool.
Sure.
So I wanted to mess around with it. So I wanted to show you one of the outputs of that. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I'll have to zoom in on my end, but.
All right. So I'm going to show you.
Gladiator and what? Is there audio?
Oh, you can't hear?
No.
Oh, damn it.
You have to do the audio setting, right?
Let me stop sharing.
Isn't there a setting you?
Yeah, I thought when I share my screen, I know from the browser I need to.
Yo, that was amazing.
Oh man, you're missing the sound. Oh, also share audio tab.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
To
wondering
share
if it's
audio.
with voice or like a mix of both of yours.
No. It's the original voice. This. Oh, I should have put this on YouTube. Just to. Let me try and do something real quick.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you can still see my screen, but.
Yeah, but my camera is acting up also. But I'm here on audio. There you go. I'm back, baby.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gone again.
Oh no. So I'm gonna upload it on YouTube. I'm gonna keep it private.
Okay. Do I need to drop to come back and get my camera on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead, drop and
Here it
then
goes.
come back on.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, damn it. I don't know why it glitches out like this.
Oh,
Yeah, you troubleshoot. I'll troubleshoot here.
alright. Oh, put it in draft form. That's interesting. Alright, let me share my. Oh wait, I can see you. Let me
Yeah,
share
I'm
my
back for
screen
now.
again.
I don't know how long it'll last.
Alright,
Okay.
let's see
There's your
if you
present.
see this.
This is amazing.
Oh. Wait. No.
It's scary, but it's amazing.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time.
You can hear it, right?
I think my uncle knows him.
Are you playing something?
He said he was dead.
Oh, what? Yeah, I thought I was sharing.
Is it on a different screen? Because I'm still seeing
don't. Okay,
the video details YouTube screen.
okay. My bad. My bad. Oh, it opened a new tab. That's what happened.
Okay. Okay, now I see the screen, the main.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time. I think my uncle knows him. He said he was dead. Oh, he's not dead. Not yet. You know him? Well, of course I know him. He's me.
Dude.
That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's so good.
All right, let's see if I can go to the videos from here itself. Manage videos. Oh no, it opened a new tab. All right, I'll have to come back to.
Yeah, all good.
No. I'll show it to you right now. I'll just have to switch. Such a comedy of errors. Oh, Lucy's puppies.
Oh, dude, I watch that. I show Bobs that every day.
Aww. Okay. You can see this, right?
You and Sid Gregor. Yeah.
Hello there.
That was cool, right?
That's amazing.
All right, one more.
It uses the audio from there, so it doesn't mix your voice audio.
Well, I could. This was just the initial one. All right, one more.
Okay, one more.
I think you might like this one.
Okay, I won't be on video, sadly.
Oh, okay. All right, but
Maybe I will. Let's see. What?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I need you to send that to me so I can horrify my wife.
that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's like a little. It's pretty good considering it's a free tool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
still pretty amazing.
I mean, remember,
It's amazing.
this is the tools that you can use out there, right? They're powered by data centers, man. The models are powered by data centers filled with GPUs. This is me on my little old laptop.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
That's amazing.
I just had a little fun with that, so I wanted to show that.
Is that a private video or where is that?
I can totally make it public. Yeah, or I'll just I'll send you the.
Send me the link. It doesn't have to be public.
I can make it so that I can just share it with people.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right,
I
but
gotta ship in.
yeah, we're at an hour 10, so
Yeah.
I don't. We clearly did not cover everything. That,
No.
you know.
This
I wanted to cover-
Pinocchio platform is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really.
how-
I think Pinocchio. Firstly, it allows you to run some things locally that can be really complicated to run. You still need a powerful machine. And I actually got a laptop with the 4090 GPU, so it is powerful.
Sure.
But it's not as powerful as proper. You need some really powerful setups, costing typically at a minimum like $10,000
Oh,
to
wow.
like run these effectively.
Okay.
But these are the video models, right? You can still run things like DeepSeek locally totally fine on this laptop, and
Sure.
actually on a MacBook and stuff like that.
Man, imagine maybe in 20 years we'll be able to do all this just from home. Right.
I don't think we're gonna need 20 years for that, man.
How long you think?
So, you know how I talked about how those scaling laws, you can throw more stuff. So some of the, and we'll talk about this maybe in the next one, right? The rate of increase of ability is here. I'm gonna show you one. Oh, that's funny. He talks about probably the. Oh my goodness, we gotta watch this at some point.
O1, and it's just like
You can't see my screen, right? I'm not sure how you did.
No, I just see your beautiful mug.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful mug. All right. I'm gonna share one thing. All right?
Okay.
We won't watch the video. It's just you can just see the. This is one of the channels that I follow. I think this guy is really good.
Yeah, kind of looks like you.
Where? Oh, right here. Okay. So you see this graph? Firstly, it's an exponential graph.
Yeah.
It just goes back to 2022. Look at this OpenAI model code force ELO ratings. So I don't know what exactly the code force ELO ratings are, all right? However, what I do know is according to those ELO ratings, the rate of development of AI models is exponential. That's one thing. But that's kind of meaningless without having any context about what these ratings are.
Right.
The second point, though, this is what I do know. I don't know about the code force ELO ratings. What I do know is that OpenAI has publicly said that this model, O3, which they already have it internally. They're going to release it soon, in months. This internal model, O3, would rank in the top 200 best developers in the world.
Wow.
Right? Top 200 best developers. The next model that is in development, that they're benchmarking internally, O4, is going to rank in the top 50.
Oh, wow.
Sam Altman has said this. The third thing that he said is before the end of the year, they expect to have an AI model that will be able to code better than any human developer in the world. It'll be number one.
Oh, what does that mean? What is the best AI developer? It's just the most efficient.
No, it can solve coding problems that other developers cannot. It'll figure out how to solve coding problems. That's why the best developers can build incredible things, right? It can see problems that human developers cannot, and it can solve them that human developers cannot. So basically, it'll get to a point where it can build AI systems, the next generation of AI systems, faster than humans can, and this exponential graph will get more exponential, right? AI building AI is exactly what leads to superintelligence.
Right.
So, I mean, when you said in 20 years we'll be running all of this stuff at home, we're at a point where we'll talk about this again next episode, right?
Okay.
But we're at a point where I'm gonna stop sharing. Where most people, both people who belong to corporations and keep pushing for faster AI development, and people who are sort of AI research gods who are completely against the corporations. So these are the people who've been building AI. They've built up essentially the whole discipline of AI. Some of the most prominent names in the field. Both of them agree on one thing, that we will likely have superintelligence emerge in 2026 or 2027.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's the timeline for UAPs.
That's the timeline for UAPs as well, 2027, right?
Yeah.
So there is some sort of convergence, which we have to tackle. And the implications are, we can't even imagine the implications. When you talk about running these things at home in 20 years, that's probably nothing compared to what we'll actually be able to do in 3 or 4 years. So it's crazy. It goes back to the system is being upended, right? The control is going away. So
and generally what happens when those in control are starting to lose it?
Revolutions are never peaceful. Never. System collapses, and systems have collapsed before, several times in human history. They are never non-violent. They're the opposite. They're incredibly bloody, and the scars are felt for centuries.
Yeah, but hey, we come out of it better, right?
People who survive do, yes.
Yeah. It's just a small asterisk.
Yeah. It's a small. All right, man. Well, this was really great. Thank you so much for the time. What is this? Are you going to flip a coin? I'm not familiar with these James. Oh, yeah.
This is your daughter's generation or younger.
Dude, I asked her whether she's seen a single episode of the podcast today, and she's like, no. Why should I? Children. Youths. Yeah. All right, Raj. Thanks for your time, and
See ya.
look forward to having you on again.